was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And now here's another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it second down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Oh, Wilson going to throw. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And barring something unforeseen, this will be the last play of the game. And on third down, the Colts have added an extra defensive back.
Flooding the passing lanes.
And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record. And
a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
And I got to tell you, I've never coached, but if I'm a coach here, what do you say to your team after a loss this deflating?
After a loss like that, the less the better. Just get in the locker room, tell them that you care about them, and you'll see them at work come Monday. But boy, oh boy, find a way to let this one go fast.
So for the Seahawks, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll get a few days to savor this one before they take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Colts, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.